Hey, Adam Culbertson here. Before we begin, we got a promo from another independent podcast, so when you finish this episode, make sure you go and check them out.
Do you enjoy podcasts with varying content, such as superheroes, and you see more of the bushes coming to chase the kids?
All right. I think I need to get their attention focused on me.
Tell them to leave them alone.
Transforming heroes.
And he nods to the giant dragon turtle.
You hear a crunch as I crush a building as I walk forward.
We have
No, the library!
Not the books.
And a bit of horror.
It looks almost like there's entrails going in opposite direction. That's a little bit of whatever it is you can see. It's just these red, thready, stringy stuff.
Okay. Oh, well, okay then.
Yikes!
Then you should check out Dungeons & Pop, a tabletop variety show that involves several guests from the actual play scene, as well as other people who just wanted to try out being on a podcast, which you can join on our Discord server. We release episodes regularly on Wednesday on your podcast player of choice.
Steel your mind for eldritch horrors of the universe unknown. For what is to follow is a tale of intrigue, mystery, and madness. You're listening to Microphones and Monsters.
Elevator music plays.
Y'all gonna say any? Y'all just gonna be quiet?
I'm just nervously gonna tap my foot.
Okay.
It's taking way too long.
All right.
Anxiously, not nervously. Anxiously tap my foot.
Yeah.
And again, I'm kind of out of it.
Okay.
Just a little bit. I'm still trying to get my bearings.
Okay.
I'm going to try and find something to bat around.
You could bat the bottom of my trench coat.
I was going to say, if there's like some bit of clothing that's just kind of dangling.
Yeah, there's a bit of clothing dangling on Manrose's jacket. He's just kind of hanging a little bit.
That sounds good.
It's not hanging much because he's little, but...
Yeah, I'll just kind of bat that around a bit.
Okay. And he's just... He looks back at you and
he gets bored.
He doesn't really say anything. He's just kind of confused. He has a confused look on his face, but he just lets it happen.
Kind of roll over my back and start like grabbing at it with both paws. Both front paws.
Behave, come on, will you?
This is taking too long.
So the door the elevator finally comes to a stop and the doors open. It opens to another empty lobby that's got white marble flooring and crimson red wallpaper with a gold trim. And there's a single large oak door on the other side of the room. And when you step out, Manrose says, "They will be with you shortly." And then the elevator doors close and it's silent again.
Tell you, it is nothing but waiting here.
Did that elevator go down?
Yes, the elevator went down.
But the button said up.
Well, it would seem that there is clearly many things we currently don't understand about the situation we're in. I, for one, would like to put some of these questions to bed. So can we move it along, please?
Really, I think you should be able to explore the Dreamland sometime. I tell you, it would really mess with your mind.
I'll bet.
The wait isn't very long, and the large oak doors open, and a human, a dwarf, and a Zoog come walking out, and they're all wearing crimson and black robes, and they walk through the door, and they smile at you and start introducing themselves. And the human, he goes, "Hi guys, I take it you're Victor, Julian, and Aleister. I am Alexander."
Well, hello.
Hi, Alexander. Nice to meet you.
Good morning, Alexander.
The dwarf, she goes, "And I'm Fiona." And the Zoog, he speaks up and he does a little bow and he goes, "And I'm Hastings."
Well, hello, Fiona and Hastings.
For clarification, real fast, do you want to explain what a Zoog is?
Yes, I was about to. I was about to describe what they look like. Alexander, he's an older man, maybe in his 60s, and he's got very long, straight blonde hair and brown eyes, very rugged white skin. And he's not tall, like around 5'4".
That's not tall at all.
No.
But he stands tall and proud, though. He's a very proud man. But you do notice that his fingers are slightly webbed. More than normal.
more than normal. Gotcha.
Well, more than just like normal human. Like
very unhumanistic. Like
yes,
is what we're going for. Okay.
Fiona, she's she seems kind of young. Like it's hard to tell with dwarves how old they are. But she has long, straight blonde hair and golden eyes. She has a very veiny brown skin.
Her fist has touched my heart.
And she's about 3'2", and she has just a massive build, like a very, very stout woman. But she has an oval, beautiful face. And let's see, Hastings, he's a Zoog. He's standing on his hind two legs. He's a small rodent-like quadrupedal humanoid. All four of his limbs end in hand-like paws capable of like fine work. But he has a prehensile tail that's moving around, but his skin is light brown and his hair is gray. He has round, bulging gold eyes and large ears. And there's a chunk missing from his left ear. But he has a narrow, sharp-fanged mouth. And his nose is subdivided into many small tentacles that writhe constantly.
Up until that last thing, he sounded like Master Splinter.
yeah, a very tiny Master Splinter, but let's throw some Lovecraft shit on it.
Yeah.
So Aleister hears this. Here's a little cat paws walking behind him on the marble floor, and cat comes walking up behind y'all, and Julian feels it rub on his leg as it walks by and to the other ones, and it's the white cat from the previous night, Sarah, and she telepathically talks to you again and says, "And of course you know me, I'm Sarah White."
But of course, I appreciate you intervening, which was a terrible misunderstanding between us and the law. I can't help but notice everything around here is not what it seems.
Ah, yes. Welcome to the Darkwell Detective Agency.
Yes.
Don't seem to recall anyone talking about a detective agency when I first got to town, albeit I've only been into town a few days.
Well, we have been kind of inactive recently, as you can see. We have kind of gotten up there in age, and there hasn't been we haven't had any replacements for quite a while until now.
Replacements?
Well, you'll be working for us. I mean, you proved yourselves in the past 48 hours to be very capable of finding out what's going on in this town.
You know, something tells me that you don't have much trouble figuring out what's going on around here. After all, this is what, our third time meeting?
Third time. You are very clever, Aleister, yes. Yes, it's, our powers have gone, we're very limited what we can do. If something happens to us, everything with the agency dies with us. So we have kind of gone inactive, tried to work through things behind the scenes to try and stop whatever is evil going on and behind the curtain, as I guess you could say, after last night's experience.
Do you happen to know more about what happened yesterday? We have a good idea, but the portals and those things that were coming out of it, do you know what that was?
Hastings speaks up, and he's like, "Oh yes, we believe that violin, the portals, that Shogoth that y'all went up against and didn't succumb to dread. It's amazing. Like, it really let us know, like, just how amazing you guys are. But we don't believe that Matthias had anything to do with that. We believe that the violin was planted on Matthias, and it controlled him.
So who planted it?
That's what we haven't figured out."
You know, I would say that he was not exactly right in the head to begin with, so I'm not sure if I would say that it completely controlled him. It might even be more appropriate to say that it influenced him.
That's a very astute point. And he pulls out a book, and he's holding it with his tail, and he's writing in it with both of his hands.
Oh, I like that.
Does the sheriff still have the violin in the hand?
Fiona speaks up, and she's like, "Well, yeah, I believe the sheriff he collected all the evidence, and yeah, I mean, whenever we're done here, y'all need to head down there and gather the evidence from him."
I'm sure he will be thrilled.
Oh well, yeah, he doesn't really like us, but I mean, we have a working relationship kind of with him. We kind of got some pull around here. But she pulls out a piece of paper. It floats over to you guys, whoever wants to grab it.
I'll grab it.
All right, so you look at it, and it's just a form. It's requesting any evidence, whether the physical evidence or any copies of paperwork for Matthias Zanodel.
Did we ever get his last name?
We just did.
I couldn't remember. I forgot his last name.
No, we didn't get it before.
Okay. Very well. What do we have besides your stated clout to clear our names? Because last thing I checked, the sheriff was very interested in putting us behind bars for the disappearance, murder, and severance of one hand of one Matthias.
You hear from Sarah in your head again. Yes, the sheriff, he actually came down this morning before daybreak, and I met with him, and we discussed what was going on. I provided the paperwork that all of you are employed. I did forge your signatures, but to save you from all the trouble with the sheriff, I'm sure you appreciate it.
I understand your reasoning at the time, and I appreciate your intervention to begin with. I would only state that please consult us before signing us up for things.
Well, I will say that I had to act in the moment.
Totally understandable. So you've already spoken with the sheriff, so he should be expecting us.
Oh, yes. But since you are worried about the paperwork, she pulls out like a scroll, like a roll of parchment from her pouch with mage hand, and she floats 3 documents over to each of you, and you watch the signatures disappear off of the paper, and she's like, "Now you can sign it. This will prove that you work for us. If you need a place to live, a place to stay, we do have accommodations for you. And anything you need from the agency, you will also be collecting a paycheck as well." Alexander pulls 3 pouches out of his pouch and tosses each of you a pouch, And he goes, well, yes, these will be connected to the cards that you were given last night. If you're not familiar with the way the Darkwell Bank works, you are tied to our agency account. It's also your ID if you, for any business matters that you need to take care of financially. It shows that you do work for us, and you can pull from your own personal account inside of the agency's account. There is a bit of funds in there already that we went ahead and set up for you for the work that you did already last night. But you can deposit more money, and you can take out money however you need from the pouch. It is directly connected to the bank, and it's magically connected. And of course, a lot of merchants around town, they have the cards as well, and you can transfer money directly between each of your cards.
It's quite a complicated system. I'm fascinated by it. I would just ask, how would we be able to check a existing balance without communicating with one of you?
Just whisper into the bag and ask for how much it has, and you will hear the number in your head.
Fair enough. Sorry, Victor. Are these bags common? I haven't come across this in my time here. Is this exclusive to Darkwell Detective Agency?
No. Actually, it's a new technology that we helped develop. Let it be used among the citizens of Darkwell and the surrounding region. We are trying to branch it out to other places around the world, since this is a port, and we have a lot of people coming in and purchasing things and keeping it to where, you have to carry less on you, and it's not weighing you down if you do have a bit of money on you.
Very well. I can't speak for everyone in the room. I have a bit of a complication working for the detective agency. I'm currently under the employ at the clinic. I do have an assistant, Gerbo. I would need to make arrangements before I would leave my station there. I have a colleague at the sanatorium. I would like it to be known that I appreciate her, the favor for sending me here. I will try and stay in contact as best I can.
Oh, you mean Verspar?
Yes.
Yes. She's under our employ. You will still be at the clinic. I mean, we need eyes and ears everywhere. So whenever you can, go to the clinic and do your duties there, and you'll still be collecting a paycheck for that as well.
Very well. I didn't know if this was more of a retainer gig. Okay.
But Gerbo's pretty handy. He can take care of himself a pretty good bit.
True. I don't want to overwork the poor fellow.
As far as I know, they're trying to bring in more doctors in from other towns and from surrounding towns in the region. Hopefully, we'll have less missing people coming up. But while you're trying to figure out who's doing it, then they're trying to make up the difference of you not being able to be there all the time.
Fair enough. Well, thank you. I will say, is there anything, look at Victor and Aleister, is there anything we need to do before we need to head to the sheriff's office? I personally need to head back and make arrangements with Gerbo.
I was curious about the accommodations. I feel like my home was compromised, and I may need a place to stay until we can confirm that I can stay there again.
Yes. The second floor will be your offices. Well, it's just one big room, and you got desks and bookshelves and filing cabinets and all sorts of things to read up on. And there's endless resources. You anything you need is there. And also on the third floor, which also has access to the roof, is living quarters.
Will the up button on the elevator work?
Oh, yes. It's connected to y'all now.
Makes me feel a little bit better. I will go ahead and make my arrangements with Gerbo, and I will meet you both at the sheriff's office. And I'll go ahead and take off.
Very well. But, and I will turn to address the...
Oh, are you signing the paper?
Yes, yeah, I'm signing the paper.
Okay.
I'm going to be addressing the actual Darkwell Detective Agency people, council, whatever they want to be called.
All right.
Before I acquiesce to any of this, I must insist that I read this contract in its entirety.
Okay.
Can you let me know if there's anything fishy in there? I trust your attention to detail.
I tell you what, if I were to sign it, then I think you can consider it safe to sign.
Good. I have one more question. What do you guys do if we're the ones out there?
Hastings speaks up. He's like, well, we can't always be here. We are kind of stretched thin, just the four of us. And I do quite a bit of research, trying to find out things. You bring stuff to us, you bring us the violin, and we can help study it. Find out maybe where it came from, who created it, hopefully help you guys solve this mystery.
I have one more question that I forgot about.
Yes.
Who is the Muffin Man?
I'm not very well integrated with the rest of the crypt folk, and I have a friend who helps me get the nourishment I need to survive. Is that something that we can accommodate here as well?
An area one floor above this one, actually, there is a crypt, and there are mummified remains of previous agents.
Fuck, I wish I was here for this. Jesus.
Just don't ask how they got there. Just don't ask how they got there, and we'll be okay.
Fucking crypt.
There is no cause for concern on how they were there. They all agreed to it. Whenever they did pass, they were collected, mummified. We have had previous crypt folk in the agency, and it serves as a means of nourishment without taking away from society, as you can say. We keep our ranks within, as well as, I mean, you can gain insight from them as well, and they have been mummified, and some are quite old to give you more benefits into your insights.
That's a better answer than I was expecting.
It seems like you've prepared.
We're just going to do Victor the rest of the night.
The agency is older than even this town. So we have been around for quite a while, and there are very many deceased members, and we are down to the last four of us, and we have not been able to find anybody that qualified until you three came along.
So does that mean that the town was named after the agency, or that the agency was renamed?
I was going to ask that.
There is a correlation between the two, yes.
I see.
That wasn't a straight answer, but all right.
There is a little bit more history behind the Darkwell agency. We weren't always a detective agency. We were a society, as I guess you can call it, to fight the evils, the horrors that are out there that are trying to take over this world. We are trying to fight back against it.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Well, yes, be that as it may, I still want to read the contract.
Oh, yes. And also, with all of this, these supernatural things that y'all have experienced, they aren't normal things that people see within this town and the surrounding region. I mean, even Sheriff has no clue what's going on here. We would like for you three, and definitely pass this on to Julian, that you need to be discreet. Don't talk about the things. Don't freak people out, because we are trying to protect them from the horrors that are out there.
I don't think you have anything to worry about from me. I could go and shout it out in the streets, and I don't think anyone would be any the wiser.
Ha ha ha! Yes. So you're looking through the contract as this is all going on. You're glancing up and listening to what they say and responding. You're very used to reading and multitasking. Mm-hmm. And you don't see anything that really, I would guess, would stand out to you. There is the part that says that you would be mummified if you were to perish and your body was able to be recovered. That it would be mummified and placed on such and such floor. That's above the one that you're in right now.
Right. Well, I expect that if there are bodily remains from my previous 8 lives, that would be at least interesting to have a collection.
Sarah speaks up and she goes, yes, I happen to be on my 8th life, and you will find remains of my previous some of my previous bodies that have been collected and mummified.
Yum.
Now I kind of have to wonder if Victor gets his pick. This could end up very awkward.
Yeah.
If it makes you feel better, I don't like eating people. So,
but what about cats?
What
you
about
didn't say
cats?
anything about cats.
Sentient cats.
yeah, cat's a cat.
But there's no anything that would be detrimental to you. It's really just laying out everything that they've talked to you about.
No little gotcha clauses or anything like that.
No. And if for some reason you do decide to retire or anything like that, you can get out of it, but the mummified remains your body would still be collected. In the case that if you did retire and you left the agency, your body would be collected to keep other crypt folk from finding out all the shit that's going on with you.
So that's the only part of the contract that exists in perpetuity?
Yeah.
Sorry, if I'm reading a contract, I'm going to be thinking in legalese.
Yeah.
But yeah, so very well. I suppose everything seems to be in order. I will sign this contract.
Did I sell my soul?
You'll find out later.
Damn it!
I'll also sign once I see Aleister's little hand signing it.
Okay. It just the pen floating.
And just
yeah. And yep.
Okay. So are y'all heading? Where are y'all heading? Victor and Aleister, where are you heading to now?
Presuming that he's going to be at the clinic in a while, I'm going to go check on my house. I'm okay enough to just walk there and look. I just don't want to stay there for long periods of time.
Okay.
Because I want to collect, some of my cooking tools and stuff like that. That I have left there, and I want to see if Luth is there.
Okay. And in the living quarters, there is a kitchen and everything like that, so you can grab what you need.
Okay.
And you could take it up.
Yeah, but maybe I just check what's in there first and before I leave.
Yeah.
Bring anything that I might need. Like I've got my spices.
You got your stuff. Yeah, you want your stuff.
Now, one thing I want to be clear on, is the living quarters here separate from the office space here?
Yes, the office space is on the 2nd floor. Mm-hmm. The living quarters is on the 3rd floor, and it does have access to the roof.
Okay. I'm going to be going to the 2nd floor to the office space, and I probably will never go to the living quarters if I can help it.
Okay.
Because they are obviously inferior to my own.
Okay. Yeah, it's not mandatory you have to stay in the living quarters.
Good, because I won't.
I feel like Victor would.
Yeah.
Like it seems more hidden than the sewer was.
Yeah, and it gets you out of the sewer.
Yeah, and it gets me out of the sewer. And with that nose of mine, it must be awful down there.
Yeah, unless you just like the smell.
No.
I very well might be relocating some of the materials from the office space to my own domicile.
Okay.
Dick.
Hey, this is Richard Collins. I am the player who plays Aleister. And, it seems that as things are right now, we have joined a detective agency. I'm not sure if that will be a good thing at this time, but time will tell. You never know when my cat eyes might miss something important in a contract. But I'm sure we'll make our way through anyway. Although I don't know what's going on with Julian. He kind of took off a little early. Who knows, maybe that will turn out poorly for him. And it seems that, Victor now has a smorgasbord to go with. And for that matter, how many of my bodies will end up there eventually? Preferably none, but you never know. You can only guarantee yourself to be incinerated so many times. So if you've enjoyed this episode, as I know you have, I mean, I'm in it, so how could you not? And you would like to perhaps shower me with your adoration, then you can reach me at Twitter. Just tweet at Mikes and Monsters. And as always, all songs are written and produced by Marco Mazzei at Fallen Highway Studios. And I hope you stay tuned for the next episode of Microphones and Monsters.